And we're live.
And
Welcome back, everyone. Episode 47 of Kids Deserve It. Can't believe it's been 47 episodes already, Todd. We hope you've been enjoying our weekly chats with educators and game changers from around the country. Also, don't forget, you can check us out on iTunes.
And if you're a weekly viewer, you also know that you can pick up our book, Kids Deserve It, on Amazon right now. And it'd be a great Thanksgiving or Christmas gift for a friend, just saying.
Also, don't forget to join our Kids Deserve It chat on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And don't forget to check out Todd's Periscope right before the chats at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. This week, we got another great guest, but first we want to introduce ourselves. I am Adam Welcome, Director of Innovation and Technology in the Bay Area.
I'm Todd Nesloni, Elementary School Principal in Navasota, Texas. And our special guest this week is Keith Peters, a principal in Miami, Florida. Right, Keith?
Weston, Florida. We're close.
Okay, close to Miami. So thanks for being here, Keith. We really appreciate it. I know you're giving up some of your time tonight, so we appreciate you being here.
No, I'm super psyched to be here. I love you guys.
Awesome.
We want to remind our viewers to participate in social media. We love seeing everything you tweet out on the hashtag Kids Deserve It.
So, Keith, we got a few questions for you. So for those who don't know about you, tell us about yourself.
Well, I am, like I said, Todd said, I'm a principal here in South Florida. This is my 17th year in education. I can't believe how fast time goes. I have been a third and fourth grade teacher. I was an assistant principal, obviously, and now a principal. This is my 8th year as principal. Here in Broward County, we're the 6th largest school district in the nation. And so part of the blessing is that is a lot of diverse schools in our county. And I've worked at 4 different ones. And each of them has been completely different based on socioeconomic status, parent involvement, test scores, all that. So I've seen the gamut. I've seen, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. All right. So I've seen it all. One thing I do know is that, as you guys say, every kid deserves the best. And we have to do whatever we can every day to make sure they get the best day possible.
Nice.
Now, one of the things you mentioned is, you work with some really diverse students, as do I and Adam. And I loved one of the Instagram posts that I saw from you this week about you reading to some of your classes in Spanish, bilingual classes. So is that one of the first times you've done something like that, or?
Yeah, that is. I definitely. Adam's talked about reading to kids, and that's something that I do always at the beginning of every year. I get into all my primary classes and read a book to them. But I also was inspired by you, Todd, and you had just posted something recently about reading your classes in Spanish. Last Thursday it was Read for the Record Day, and when my reading coach said I was going to read to a couple of our classes, I said, well, let me read to the kindergarten dual language classes, and I'm going to take a chance and I'm going to read in Spanish to them. I am lucky. My wife is a Latina, so I had a little help at home. We practiced 3 or 4 times, but I'll be honest with you. She was wondering where my accent was coming from. I think it sounded a little Italian when I was reading, and it was funny. I asked the kids when I was done. There was this one little girl that was right in front of me, and she was cheering me on the whole way and helping correct my words. And I was like, "Oh, I've got a fan right here." And
Nice.
I said when I'm done, I said, "Boys and girls, rate me a scale of 1 to 10. Tell me, how did I do?" And that little girl gave me a 2.
Oh,
Super humbling. It's the best. But isn't it the best, though? I mean, come on. Kids tell you total honest truth, and they just remind you of the real way things are. I love it.
I love that. That's a great story.
Hey, you got to keep it real. Hey, so when I was a principal, I used to always dress up in our mascot costume. And I know, Keith, you do the same. You're always dressing up, fun stuff. Like, what has that done for the culture of your school, or just you as a principal and as an administrator? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't tell you my Halloween costume for tomorrow because it's super top secret, in case any of my students are looking right now, but you'll see some posts tomorrow with something fun. It's school's supposed to be fun, and if we're the leaders of the school, we're the lead learners, we're the person out there at the forefront. We want to make sure that our kids come to school. They're super excited to be there. Something I can do is dressing up and acting a little silly and make them laugh when they're coming in. It really helps to boost the morale. And then I'll be honest with you, I think sometimes my teachers, they like it a lot too. I know that sometimes I've made them roll their eyes a bit, but I think they get a kick out of the fact that I'm willing to act silly and put myself out there, and that's part of our role, right? And to be the lead cheerleader of our school.
Well, you know, I gotta tell you, you're one of my favorite people to follow on Instagram because you do always post awesome photos.
Thank
Either
you.
the ties that you got going on, or some kind of costume that you're wearing, like the pirate one that you did for your, I think it was the book fair, right?
Yeah, we did it for our book fair. Yeah, we fully. Yeah, every time, whatever. Listen, I have an awesome PTA. The school I'm currently at. This is my 4th year at my current school. Whatever my PTA asks me to do, I'm in. I know. I think in a couple weeks I'm going to be sumo wrestling one of our custodians. That should be a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
get after it, man.
Hey, why not? Right? Why
Yeah,
not?
why not?
Whatever does help the kids out.
Totally.
So, Keith, what is something that you've done as a campus leader that you're particularly proud of?
Wow. So much, so much. One thing I can tell you, and I will encourage all principals to do this. This is my 8th year as principal, and I'm in the midst of doing this right now. But all my previous 7 years, and this year I've already started it, but I have lunch with every single 3rd, 4th, and 5th grader at least once during the school year. I bring in a group of 6 or 7 of them. I can't do it every day because there's other things going on, but as often as possible, I'm sitting and having lunch with kids. And I know sometimes people look at me and say, well, how can you give up your time to do that? But to me, it's the most crucial part of what I do. It's number one, relationships, right? The most important part of being an educator, whatever role we're in, relationships is the most important part of what we do. So I sit there and I have lunch with our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, and I find out their experience in school. When I first started doing it years ago, I had a different mindset about school. This is before I was connected on social media. And I used to bring the kids in and I look over how they were doing in school and monitoring that. But now it's strictly, hey, what are your experiences in school? What do you like about school? What can we do to make your experience even better? And then finding out what they do. I mean, I like to know, what are they doing outside of school? What are their passions? What are they excited about? And it gives a deeper level of connection with them.
I love that. You know, what you said too about people asking you like, oh, how do you have time? Like, you got to shift the culture. Cause I used to tell people when I was a principal, like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my time. Like, I'm not supposed to be looking at Excel spreadsheets. So you talk about school and getting to know kids. What was school like for you growing up, man?
You know, it's interesting. When I was in elementary school, school worked well for me. I played the game of school really well. Got good grades. I was always thought I was the top of my class. Really worked the game really well. And then got to middle school and then high school, and my passion for it disappeared. I didn't have that teacher that turned my life around. I had some cool teachers who I got along with and, were cool to talk with, but nobody that inspired me and motivated me to do really well in school. So I think that's part of what I live for now, is to try to make school engaging for our kids and help them find their passion when they're in school.
Totally.
Love that. I think that's great. So what is the biggest piece of advice that you would give to educators and how to best support kids?
Wow. Right now, to me, be connected. That's why I'm here right now. Getting to talk to you guys is because I'm connected. Get out there, learn from each other, share with each other. The walls of the classroom have disappeared. We need to branch out and to find whatever we can out there that somebody else might be doing, something a little bit better than we are, or might have a different or cooler idea than we do to reach kids. Go out there and find it. Find out what those ideas are, and then also share what's going on in your own classroom too. I think we have too many teachers that are afraid to share out what's going on in their own classroom. They think, well, maybe it's not good enough. You guys know George Couros, and you guys, heard about what he talks about and what his readings are. But we've got to get out there and not be afraid to share what we're doing in our classrooms, because we're doing some amazing things, and teachers are awesome. I'm a big proponent of what our teachers are doing and what they do every single day. We've got to help out and promote them as much as possible.
Totally. So when you're having those days that you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to go to school, Keith, what do you do to pump yourself up, man?
Well, the first thing is I really don't ever have that kind of day in the morning, right? When I first wake up, I'm geared up and ready to go. I'll be honest with you. I think sometimes my wife's the person who definitely rolls her eyes at me a bit, because I'm nonstop thinking about school, thinking about our kids, and thinking about how to make it better. I'm geared up and ready to go every day. However, sometimes when you're at school, you get that one email or that one conversation that maybe can, affect your day. We have the easy solution. We have the best jobs in the world. We work with kids. The easiest thing to do, go into a kindergarten class, go sit on the floor and go talk to the kids, go sit at lunch with the 3rd or 4th grade class and talk and find out what they're doing. I guarantee you your mood will change and your day will become instantly better. And so the kids do it for me.
Nice.
I think that's so true. And Adam and I talk about that a lot too, about how for me personally, going into those kindergarten rooms, or like you even said, going to lunch or recess is just a great uplifter and reminds you why you're doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. Go play with the kids, right? Go to recess and play.
I kind of feel it's the same as like, if you're on an island, it's your own fault. Like if you're not connected, and if you're at a school and you're having one of those days, like it's your own fault if you just can't go out on campus somewhere and just find something to celebrate, or find some kids to hang out with, or just do something that's free and simple and just kind of turn your day around. So totally.
Absolutely. What Todd talked about Instagram, and one of the things that I do with Instagram, I help promote what's going on in my school, and also with my students too. When I initially started in social media was, Twitter all the way, and I still am obviously very connected on Twitter. But one of my students came to me and said, "Mr. Peters, you got to get on Instagram." And this was 4 years ago. And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "What am I going to do? I'm going to post pictures. All the kids are on it. What am I going to do?" And he said, "You've got to do it." It's the biggest game changer for me. My relationship with my kids has deepened even further. I know you guys had Brandon on a couple episodes ago. Mm-hmm. He talked about it. And Stephanie was on. I watched her episode as well. She talks about taking selfies. To me, it's amazing what a selfie with me will do for a kid. I mean, they love it. They want to be on your Instagram. They want to be Instagram famous for the night. If that's something small we can do without costing anything at all, and it makes their day, let me tell you, it makes my day too when I see them smile. So it's something easy to do.
Totally.
So Keith, who is somebody that inspires or challenges you to be better?
In education every day, honestly, I'm still living up to my grandma. She's not with us anymore, but this woman had a belief in me that I was meant to change lives, and I was meant to be something more. And I honestly have her on my shoulder all the time, and she's always in my ear, and she's always saying, "Keith, you got to push forward." And I think about all the words she used to say to me, and so my nanny is she's the person who always constantly motivates me.
Nice. All right, Keith. Every week, we like our guests to leave a challenge for our viewers. What is your challenge for the week?
Wow, can I give a couple?
Yeah.
I got a couple of questions. Okay, so my brother-in-law is in business, and I don't really take a lot from the business world. But this one thing he told me, he was in a conference, and Peter Drucker has this quote that says, "It's the naive question." And so I ask a lot of questions. I'll be honest with you. I think sometimes people think I ask too many questions about education, but I think that's what we're supposed to do. And so the naive question is this: is if we were going to start, in his case, business, but in our case, school. If we were going to start school over again, would we do it this way? Would we group kids by age? Or would we rather group them by interest? Would we start school with a focus on reading and math as the primary focus, with little social studies and science sprinkled in? Or would we have arts and humanities at the forefront, or a blend of it all? Would we have homework every day? Those kind of things, those kind of questions we need to ask. Ask those naive questions. And a lot of things we do in school are already great. And I'm not saying we have to change everything, but let's ask those questions. And then the other question is, and every year I always ask these what if questions to my staff. What if we did this? What if we try this? And this year I changed it up. I said, what if sounds like it's pie in the sky. We're hoping for something to happen, hoping for the change to happen. But we have power within us, and we're doing it all the time. You guys, myself, all the people that are connected in education, people that are doing the work each and every day, we're making the change every day. So it's not what if anymore. It's what if we could. You add those couple of words at the end there? What if we could now? We can make the change, and we have to. We have to do whatever we can to help make education what it is. It's an awesome profession, and so many people are trying to destroy that and take it away from us, but we have this power. And those of us on social media, I feel like we're we're revolutionaries, and we're all banding together to reclaim our profession back. And so I really appreciate what you guys are doing with your book, and your hashtag, and especially this, and giving a voice to educators out there, to really put out the good word about what we're doing.
Man, Keith, I just got to say, I love what you said about revolutionaries. I've told Todd so many times, sometimes I feel like Gandhi and Mother Teresa, not a fair comparison, but like just trying to overturn the tide of all that other stuff, man. So it's a revolution. We gotta keep it up. So
just listen to that song Renegades by the ex-ambassadors. I put that on once in a while, and I'm like, okay, that's us. We're the renegades.
Yeah, right? Bring it.
There you go. Well, Keith, thanks so much for giving us some of your time this evening. We really appreciate getting to chat with you.
Absolutely. Appreciate it too, guys. I appreciate you guys very much. Take care, everybody.
Yeah,
We
for
want
sure.
to thank everybody for watching the show, and remember to tweet us at the Kids Deserve It or the hashtag Kids Deserve It. Join our Twitter chats on Wednesday, and check out our next guest, which is Sandra Menurio. We'll see if I pronounce that right when she comes on next week. But check us out with Sandra next week. Everybody have a great week.